Hello friends, welcome to my channel VLSI Interview Guide. Today we are going to see introduction to SPI, which is a serial communication protocol. So first thing, the full form of SPI is serial peripheral interface. As we see, it's a full duplex communication protocol, which means it's there are separate lines for transmitting data from master to slave and receive data from slave to master, and it's also serial communication protocol. It consists 4 wire which are master in, slave out, master out, slave in, clock, and slave select to select the slave to which we want to communicate. It's an synchronous communication protocol, means clock is utilized to synchronize data from master to slave. It's a single master multi-slave protocol. Here we cannot use multi-masters, so there is only master can contact with slave and slave cannot contact between each other. This is the block diagram of SPI. The left side, this one is SPI master, and the right sides are SPI slaves. So the clock line came from master and went to slaves individually. There is also master out, slave in, means master gives output to slave, and another one is master in, slave out, which means master take input from slaves, and the last one line is slave select, means master can choose to want to communicate with slave, means this line through which we can select the slave. So next slide is the communication protocol, means how the communication start between master and slave. So the first thing, that first of all the clock will start, then the actually slave select pin is the active low, which means when slave select pin goes low, then master, and there is one connection set between master and slave. After that there will be a data transfer between MOSI line. The data here is 11000010. So after slave select goes low, then master send data to slave, because this is the MOSI line and this line is clear, second line, because master cannot take any input from slave in this scenario. So here we can see the one frame structure of SPI. So first thing, this is the CPOL, means clock polarity, and PHA means clock phase. There are actually 4 modes of operation of SPI, which will be seen in the next slide, but here I can give a short introduction. It's an when C polarity and C phase are both 0, then our clock will, their initial value will be 0, and it will be evaluate the operation at the negative edge of clock. Means as we see, when slave select goes low and clock is enabled, then master and slave start communicating between each other, but the data is changed at the negative edge of the clock. So this operation will be selected as from C polarity and C phase. As we see, all the data is going to change at the negative edge of clock, at here, and hit here. So in next we can see there are 4 modes of C polarity and C phase. When C pole is 0, then initial value of the clock is 0, When C pole is 1, then the initial value of the clock is 1. Means C pole 1 is the negation of C pole 0, and C phase tells us that at what age the operation will be evaluated. So when C phase equal to 0, then at the falling edge the operation is going to perform, and here we can see. And when C phase equal to 1, then at the rising edge the operation is going to be performed. On the basis of C pole values 0 and 1 and C phase values 0 and 1, there are 4 types of SPI mode of operation. So first mode of operation, when polarity and phase are 0, then clock starting position is 0, as we see in the last slide, and the data is received on the falling edge of the clock. When mode 1, then clock starting position is low and data is received at the rising edge of the clock. When mode 2, then clock starting position is high and data is received on the falling edge of clock. And in mode 3, clock starting position is high and data received at the rising edge of clock. So the advantages of SPI communication is it's a full duplex, means there is separate line for data transmission and data receiving, and there is no start and stop bit, so obvious its speed will be higher as compared to UART and I2C. So it's no complicated slave addressing system like I2C. Means in I2C there are 7 to 10 bits of addressing, which causes to slow down to the data transmission. In here there is one separate line of slave select through which we can select slave and our data will be transferred without any disturbance. So it have high data transfer rate than I2C, almost twice as fast. In my practical case I got a transfer rate of 10 Mbps in case of SPI. So there are separate MISO and MOSI lines, master in slave out and master out slave in lines. So data can be sent and received at the same time, as we discussed. And the disadvantage of SPI is it uses 4 wires, means we can use it only in short distance communication, because if we use it for long distance then cost will obviously increase because of 4 wires. There is no acknowledgement that the data has been received successfully. No form of error checking like parity bit and other error checking, but it only allows for single master. Yeah, this is the another disadvantage, because there is only one master and here only master can select, through which we have to communicate between, and slave have no authority to start the communication, or two slaves cannot communicate between each other. The master must control all communication, as we see. Yeah.